Hey scrapbooking friends, this is Allison with another video. Today I'm going to be making a few pages for a little girl. I got this really cute new paper just today from Hobby Lobby for a baby girl, and I'm going to be showing you how I do multiple pages at a time. This is something that I've learned, and it's one of my favorite things that I've made up. It's a way that you can make several pages at one time, and the pages will all come out a little bit differently, and you can intersperse them throughout your album, and they will be absolutely fine. They will not be looking exactly the same. No one will think, oh, you just copied that other page from somewhere else. You really won't be able to tell. So let's go ahead and get started. So I take a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I have cut out several strips of this really cute designer paper from the collection. And this will not make sense at first, but when you see the end, you will see it's really cute. So I have all these strips, double-sided papers. So I'm going to be just laying down the strips in a pattern that I think looks good. Some stripes, some prints, chevron. Oh, and I'm going to let some hang off the bottom too. I know this looks weird right now. You have to trust me. I'm going to be eventually cutting it in half, and then this is going to be on the left side of the page. This will be on the right. You just have to trust me. Okay, I need a little bit more green in here. And it's okay to leave this gray color showing in the middle. Okay. What else do I need up there? Maybe some of this green. Okay, so now I will just glue these down, and I'm trying to glue the biggest one first because it's going to be setting the stage for the rest of them. If the first one's crooked, the rest are going to be crooked. Oops, I got a glob of glue there. I need it to be straight, but not necessarily hanging off the edges evenly. Let's see. Sorry about my head. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty straight. So normally I would just make several of these. This 8.5 by 11 sheet, I would do this probably 4 times, but I'm gonna just do it like this right now so I can show you and you can get the idea. Might need another little something right in there, I'm not sure. And I always use this Scotch Quick Dry Tacky Glue. I love it. It's great. It dries fast. It is acid free, so it's safe for all my photos. Okay, I think I need a little something there in the middle. I could put some more of the pink chevron. That would be fine. It'll give it some cohesiveness. Is that a word? Cohesiveness? Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I have just created here basically a piece of custom pattern paper. Now I'll show you the method to my madness. I'll take 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and this is going to be the background. This little guy here, sorry, I forgot something. This is going to be my background, my, shouldn't say background, my second layer. The background's the first layer. This is my second layer. You guys just have to trust me. Okay, so this is 8.5 by 11. It's already that way. This is paper from Stampin' Up. It's really high quality, good paper. So that's 8.5 by 11. I'm going to take another sheet of 8.5 by 11 and cut it down to 4 1/4 by 11. This was going to be the other side of my page. And now, this is the crazy part. I'm going to cut this here to where it'll fit. Let's see. That right there. I'm going to cut it at 4 1/2. No, this is only going to, so I'm measuring here. So 8 1/2 to 12, 9 1/2, 10 1/2, 11 1/2. So 3 inches over here on the right side, which will be this. 3 inches, 3. Okay. So I'm cutting it at 3 1/4. You gotta trust me. Okay. Now, I'm gonna stick it right here. Ah, look at that! And I stick this one over here. And now it looks like I have, you can't tell probably on the video, but it might just look like pattern paper to you, but in person you can see that there's shadows and contrast, and it looks really cute. So I'm going to also round the corners. And you see on these right here, these things hanging off, you don't even see them because they're tucked underneath this mat. Just like that. Ah, it's really cute. You probably can't tell. Ah. Using my corner chomper again, which is awesome. Now I could do the corners of the mint colored sheets as well. I think I will. It just seems to add a lot to the book. I don't know why. It's just a very simple little detail. Uh-oh. Just like that. And now I'll start to adhere it. And I just kind of eyeball it. It's going to be a 1/2 inch margin on the top, a 1/2 inch margin on the bottom. And this glue is awesome because you can just not use it very much at all. And your pages, your stuff will still stick really well. People sometimes think I'm crazy for using liquid glue in my scrapbook, but it's great. Because actually I was using tape runner so much that my wrist was hurting. And this seems to be, this doesn't hurt my wrist even if I use it all day. So I switched to this and I haven't looked back. It's great. The only problem is if you blob too much of it on, it will make your paper warp and your photos warp. Okay, so that's down, and now this is how I make the sides even because, you know, I don't want to get out a ruler. That would be too much work. So I just make sure they're lined up here. I just eyeball it. So that looks pretty good. Sorry again about my head. And then I hold it and I just lift it up and I put the glue under there. Then I'll take this again and just make sure it's tack down enough. And there, just as quick as that, we have the base of our page. So obviously you'll put your photos here, but you can also let them hang off the side onto this as well. I think I want to make these a little bit fancier. I'm going to put a little bit of lace in here, and I'm going to dig around my room for a few more little things to add. Alright, so during that break I made several pages so I could show you guys as samples. Here's one that I did. It's turned out really cute. I went ahead and finished that one I made earlier. Went ahead and added all the fun stuff to it. It turned out really pretty, I think. I really like this paper line. So I'll show you how I went about that process. So I start with, I have pre-cut 4x6 photo mats. I just cut these out myself from paper that I'm no longer using. And it works out just fine. because you don't see through it, and you can just add your photos on top of there later. So I have 4x6 and 4x4 mats that I cut out from white, and this is just to help me with the general layout of the page. When I add my embellishments, I like to know where the photos are going to be, because this group of pages I am making for a customer, and she has not mailed me her photos yet. So I was excited to start working on it, so I went ahead and started on the pages before I have the photos. Another thing, I was going to add lace, but then I found this really pretty salmon colored twill tape in my stash, so I decided to use that. It just makes it look really nice and kind of puts it a step up as far as quality of the page and interest. The texture adds a lot of interest. So I've added my photo mats, and now I am going to add some doilies. I just get these doilies at Michael's. They have it in the cake section, or they have them sometimes in the scrapbooking section. But I think they look really nice when you add them to a page about a baby or wedding pages. Really, there's a lot of pages that doilies can add a lot to. They just soften it up and they look like lace. And I'm going to have probably, I got to remember to do my 3 focal points on the page with my clusters. So I'll try to have one here, down here, and then over here. I've just read that so many times when reading about design or scrapbooking, that there's a rule of 3s, and you use 3 things of the same color to draw the eye around the page in a triangular shape like this, so it leads the eye in a way across the page, up and down across the page. So that's where I think I'm going to put that. Let's see, baby shower, it's a girl. There's so many pretty things I could add to this. There's sweet bundle. I think I like that. Now I got these, all of these rectangular shaped journaling boxes came on one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So I've cut them all apart. But I like to go a step further and cut out individual ones that have a nice shape. And this is one of those. And it really adds a lot to your page. I think it looks like an embellishment you might have bought separately and paid a lot of money for. So I'm just fussy cutting this out so the shape can be seen better rather than just a solid rectangle. So that'll go here. Yeah, I like that. And I can add a word up here. We have beautiful, adorable, something like that, sweetheart. I like that, but it's so close to the color of that mint green. I think it would look better with a contrast. Darling, adorable. Really, so many of these are cute. I'm going to choose beautiful. And now I'm just going to use scraps of some of the other papers that I have been cutting up. Here's a little trick I like to do. Take a rectangular scrap of paper, fold it in half, and then at the fold cut out a V shape, and then you have 2 identical little chevrons with less cutting. So I can use either side of those, and I just play with these. I put them on, I see how it works with whatever I've chosen. I like to remember that contrast will often look really nice. Things that it'll show it better. This brown on the mint green is going to show it better on the white doily than this light pattern on white. So I think I'll do the brown here. And this is also going to be one of my other, oh, that's right, one of my other focal points. I need to put this down here because this is going to be the third cluster. 1, 2, 3 clusters. And then this one, that brown just kind of goes with it. If I do this, it provides a little more contrast. And I'll just pick a few more of these leftover scraps. Cut some little banner shapes and just place those around. That's kind of close to that color. Well, I'm also going to be adding a lot of pink flowers later, so I'll let that one go. There's a little striped one. I think the stripe would look good down here too. This is the part where you just play. Yeah, I think that's good. Up here, this looks a little plain, but really, when you get your photo, by the time you get your photos added on, you really don't need too many little fun add-on things, because eventually they can distract from your photos, and that's not what we're trying to do. We want the focal point of our pages to be our gorgeous children, right? Of course. Okay, so I will go ahead and glue those down, and I'll fast forward through that. And now that I've adhered all those elements onto the page, I'm going to go to the next step. But I added foam squares underneath these to give them a little bit of extra pop. Now I will add my flowers. I have separately off camera made a bunch of flowers. I've just punched them out of my cardstock, out of different flower punches that I have, out of different colors, different sizes, and also added some green buttons to the middle, and they look really cute. They match really well, and they're going to really complement the page. So as I start placing those around, I'm just thinking about the contrast between the flower and the background and looking for good placement, trying to get them that's kind of big. See, this pink flower is the same color as the background paper, so it kind of washes out right there. So I gotta look for, gotta make sure I have good placement. Now that one, that could be light pink right there. All right, now I have also a stamp. It's a flourish shape from Inkadinkado, and I'm using, this is my favorite ink of all time, Colorbox Fluid Chalk Ink Pad. I love these. They produce beautiful images. And I have a little mask. I'll just use a Post-it note to mask some of this off, and I will mask it off here and then stamp. And that just adds another nice layer to the page, and it gives it depth, and I think that's really important when you're making your pages, and to make them look really nice. Depth is huge as far as that goes. And I'll do another one right here. Inkadinkado, and I'm using, this is my favorite ink of all time, Colorbox Fluid Chalk Ink Pad. I love these. They produce beautiful images. And I have a little mask. I'll just use a Post-it note to mask some of this off. And I will mask it off here and then stamp. And that just adds another nice layer to the page, and it gives it depth. And I think that's really important when you're making your pages, and to make them look really nice. Depth is huge as far as that goes. And I'll do another one right here. I should have done this before I added my flowers. So we just have some little fun flourishes. Now, alright, where did my flowers go? That one goes here. See that? Isn't that neat? It looks like the flower is just sitting on top of a little, maybe a sprig of a leaf or something. So I'll adhere these on. I took about, I don't know, 45 minutes to make all these flowers, just to punch them out and then glue them together. You can even do that while you're watching TV some night when you get a new paper kit that you're excited about. You can just take some time and punch out some embellishments and put them together while you're doing something else. I like to do that. I like to get things done. Now there are some rules about adding these flowers too. Try to not make them all like in a row, like one here, here, and here. That's too uniform. In nature, flowers don't really come that way, so I'm going to try to space them out a little bit better. And I can also add a few little blue flowers, or mint green, that I've also punched out. Might add a flower here. That might be too distracting. Okay, I'm going to try to stick by my rule. 3 clusters only. Here, here, and here. Okay, I'm sticking with it. I'm going to believe in the process. Okay, that's turning out really pretty. So I just have a couple more things to add. One of my favorite things are enamel dots. But if you've noticed, enamel dots are really expensive. And so I came up with this way to make my own faux enamel dots. And I just use this Scribbles 3D paint. I buy it in the bottle with the fine tip, and I add a little bit of water to it, and I stir it together really well, so it just makes a little bit of a thinned down version of this. And then I'll just go around adding my little dots, try to make it in a nice circular shape, not an oval shape. And I just sort of intersperse them all over, and again, try to make them look random, not like 3 in a row, all the same shape. You want them to be here, there, and not too many of them. It's kind of an art form to make this work. They can be different sizes. They actually look better if they're different sizes, I think, with some big and some small. Okay, now here's the crazy part. I came up with this at 2 in the morning one night. You swat this. So you can see now that they're dimensional, but I want to make them a little bit more flat yet still round. So I take something hard like this and I'll swat my paper on it. Did you see what happened? They started flattening out. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but look, they did. They flattened out. They're looking better. I'm going to do it on this one. Swat. And I don't know if swat is the right word. Slap. But there's a definite movement. It's a strong movement. You can't let go of your paper. Okay, so look there again. Can you see the dimension of those? Now I'm going to swat them. Oh, that one worked really well. See how flat those got? Those big ones right here at the top? Yeah. Now that one kind of went crazy down there. Oops. I might have swatted too hard. I might have swatted too hard. Is that a is that a sentence? Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. So now I have my baker's twine in espresso and white. Now I need to move this aside or I'm going to get that pink paint all over me. Here is a great way to make little bows out of twine. You just leave them connected to the twine spool. Make one loop with your right hand, hold it with your thumb, wrap it around, push it through with your left index finger, and then it's adjustable. See, that looks crazy right now? But if you just pull it through, since you have all that twine left on the roll, you can make it any size from this point that you want. And then you'll just cut it off. And I try to make the tails even. So there's one perfect little bow. And for my layouts, I try to do, this is just one of my trademarks. I do 3 twine bows on each layout. And so you can make 3 bows in like 10 seconds with practice. All right, now I just gotta find where I want them to go. Keeping in mind my 3 focal point areas. Yep. I was gonna put one there, but no, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with the 3. 1. Stress. All right. Oh no. I just felt my hand smash one of my... Ah! All right. Lesson learned. The problem is if you try to do these dots after you've put on the bows and they haven't dried, the bows will fly around. So I was trying to do it in a different order. I will add something there later. Let's see. How about this? Perfect. Okay, yeah, I like this. I like this bow right on top of that flower. All right, guys, I think we're done. It turned out really pretty. This paper is just gorgeous. I wouldn't have bought this because I've already done my baby girl album, but this paper is awesome. It's from Echo Park. So now I'll go through and show you my other pages and show you how they can be quite different, yet the same. They're cohesive, but they're not exact duplicates. This one I just changed up the orientation of the photos a little bit to accommodate more portrait photos. I added a 3x4 square here. This little doily cluster here is different. It just has a word. It doesn't have one of the big journaling boxes there. This one I used brown paper as the background instead of the mint green. But again, the whole technique was exactly the same with creating your own patterned paper with the stripes in the background. This one has the twill tape and also some dark brown lace, crochet lace, and also some wood shapes. And of course the green buttons. Here's another one. All right, thanks guys so much for watching. Please leave me comments. And visit my Etsy shop at Scrapbooks by Allison or my website, scrapbooksbyallison.com. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.